The Indian Army will soon deploy the world's most lethal attack helicopter at the Pakistan border. The first batch of the Apache combat helicopters for the Indian Army are set to arrive in December after months of delay, with the final 3 to be delivered in January. Originally scheduled to be delivered in February this year, the Apache, known as tank killers, will be stationed at the Jodhpur Air Base to support the first line of defense and provide close air support to the Indian military in any future confrontation with Pakistan. The Apache helicopter is a warbird which has proven its qualities during the war on terror in Afghanistan and Iraq, while the Israel military has been using its 2 Apache squadrons to conduct operations in active war zones. Indian Army Aviation Corps already set up the first Apache squadron at the Nagtalao Air Base in Jodhpur in March this year, expecting a timely delivery of the choppers from the US. However, deliveries were delayed due to, quote, technical reasons. Now, this is not the first time defense delivery delays from the US have impacted India. The engine deliveries for the upgraded Tejas Mk-1A fighter jets are also experiencing similar delays for close to a year now. The $600 million deal for 6 Apache AH-64E choppers was signed by the Indian Army after the 2020 Galwan Valley clashes with China at the LAC, which resulted in the first combat deaths for the Chinese PLA in decades. Indian Army's Apache purchase, however, is aimed at dominating Pakistani military on the desert battlefields of Rajasthan. The Apache AH-64Es for India will be accompanied by 812 laser-guided Hellfire longbow missiles and 542 Hellfire 2 missiles. Now, these are air-to-ground missiles with maximum range of 11 kilometers. The Hellfire are anti-armor missiles used to neutralize enemy tanks or artillery, as well as command centers or radar stations. To boost the Apache's firepower, the Indian Army also placed an order for 245 Stinger air-to-air missiles. The Apache can use these to take out enemy choppers or drones at close range. The Apache is an all-weather, all-terrain beast and is fully capable of nighttime operations. It has nose-mounted sensors which uses lasers as well as infrared systems to locate targets, while the pilot's integrated helmet allows him to easily aim and fire the 30mm automatic cannon armed with high explosive rounds. With a top speed of 279 km per hour and a service ceiling of 20,000 feet, the Apache can have a bird's eye view of the entire battlefield and give the Indian Army the edge against any Pakistani military formations. Manufacturer Boeing claims the Apache choppers can identify and track up to 128 targets simultaneously and engage 16 of them at a time. With the aid of a data link, the Apache can receive and transmit pictures and information on the battlefield during combat missions. Meanwhile, the Indian Air Force already operates a fleet of 22 Apache helicopters in a 14,000 crore rupee deal that was signed earlier in 2015. The IAF's 125 Squadron, also known as the Gladiators, is based at the Pathankot Air Base. This allows the IAF Apache Squadron to cover the entire northern sector with Pakistan, while they also fly sorties to Ladakh. The second IAF Apache Squadron is based in Jorhat, Assam, with an eye on the India-China border in Arunachal and the entire northeast. In fact, the Indian Air Force has flown its Apache helicopters even close to Siachen, the world's highest battlefield situated at the India-Pakistan-China tri-junction. However, earlier this year, one of the Apache choppers had to make an emergency landing at nearly 12,000 feet near the Khardungla Pass due to a technical snag. Now, the incident shows how the Ladakh and Siachen frontiers, which are guarded by the Indian military and Indian Army, are some of the harshest terrains on the planet, which tax even the most advanced military hardware. For high-altitude LAC operations, the Indian Army and Indian Air Force rely more on the indigenous LCH Prachand helicopter, which is even more effective than the Apache at ultra-high altitudes, where the air is thin and flying is a real test for man and machine. With a service ceiling of 6,500 meters, the Prachand has the highest service ceiling among all combat helicopters in the world, and the IAF has tested it even in the grueling conditions of the Siachen Glacier. But more on LCH Prachand in another video. For now, we await the arrival of the Apache from America. Hopefully, this can clear the roadblocks for the Tejas Mk-1A fighter jet engine deliveries as well. Now, with Donald Trump set to return to the White House for his second term as the US president, it remains to be seen if his camaraderie with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi can elevate India-US defense ties to the next level. Have your say. Can the United States become a trusted defense partner for India? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.